Hootenanny is a Scottish word meaning celebration, and slash or party. With the Scots being one of the biggest groups of settlers in the Appalachian region of North America, it is not surprising that Hootenanny became an Appalachian colloquialism, although it became used in early 20th century America as a placeholder name to refer to things whose names were forgotten or unknown. In this usage it was synonymous with thingamajig or whatchamacallit, as in, hand me that Hootenanny. Hootenanny was also an old country word for party. Nowadays the word most commonly refers to a folk music party with an open mic, at which different performers are welcome to get up and play in front of an audience. Hootenanny was also used by the leadership of early firefighting battalions to describe a meeting of the minds of higher-ups or various department heads. The term has trickled down to working companies and is now used, with some frequency, at working incidents and other circumstances that require a focused discussion between key individuals. Most recently it was adopted for use during the annual Fire Department Instructors Conference. Logistics professionals for the conference employ the word to call together the required personnel needed to accomplish the prodigious assignments placed on them. Origin. According to Pete Seeger, in various interviews, he first heard the word Hootenanny in Seattle, Washington in the late 1930s. It was used by Hugh de Lassier unregistered trademark as New Deal Political Club to describe their monthly music fundraisers. After some debate the club voted in the word Hootenanny, which narrowly beat out the word wingding. Seeger, Woody Guthrie and other members of the Almanac Singers later used the word in New York City to describe their weekly rent parties, which featured many notable folk singers of the time. In a 1962 interview in Time, Joan Baez made the analogy that a hootenanny is to folk singing what a jam session is to jazz. Events. During the early 1960s, at the height of the folk music era, the Club Girds Folk City at 11 West 4th Street in Greenwich Village started the folk music hootenanny tradition every Monday night, that featured an open mic and welcomed performers known and unknown, young and old. The Hootenanny is an annual one-day rockabilly music festival held at the Oak Canyon Ranch in Irvine, California, which also incorporates a vintage car show. For years there have been online hootenannies. The most long-standing example is Small Talk at the Wall, which has been going since 1999. Recordings. Surfin' Hootenanny is a surf pop rock song written by Lee Hazelwood and Al Casey, and performed by Al Casey with the Caseyettes. It opens Casey's 1963 album Surfin' Hootenanny. The song reappeared in 1996 as track 15 of Cowabunga. Set 2, Big Waves compilation. Cowabunga. Set 2, Big Waves is a second disc from Rhino Records' Cowabunga. The Surf Box 4 CD set compilation that contains most famous songs from the 4-decade-long history of surf music. The Glencoves had a hit single with their release Hootenanny, which peaked at number 38 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1963. Eels released an album titled Hootenanny. The rock and roll band The Replacements released their second album in 1983, entitled Hootenanny on Twin Tone Records. The band Weezer had a Hootenanny tour in 2008 which allowed fans to play songs with the band. The New Zealand rock band HLAH released a single entitled Hootenanny in 1997. A song called We Are Having a Hootenanny appears on the Magnetic Fields' 2010 album Realism. The album The Repercussions of Angelic Behavior by Riflin, Goon and Fripp contains a track entitled Hootenanny at the Pink Pussycat Cafe. Reggae legends The Wailers recorded a song called Hootenanny Hoot, sung by Peter Tosh, available on Peter Tosh's CD The Toughest. Swedish 1960s folk band Hootenanny singers included Bja Paragraph RN Alvarius, who later was a member of ABBA. Belgian band Too Much and the White Knots released an album called Hootenanny in 2011. In 1964 George Jones and Melba Montgomery released a country bluegrass album titled Bluegrass Hootenanny. Television. Several different television shows are named and styled after it, including Hootenanny, an early 1960s musical variety show broadcast on ABC in the United States. In 2007 a set of 3 DVDs called The Best of Hootenanny was issued, culled from the 1963-64 ABC TV series. It contained clips of performances by the Chad Mitchell Trio, the Limeliters and the New Christy Minstrels, and even Woody Allen as a stand-up comedian. In 1963 and 1964 there was a BBC One show called The Hootenanny Show, recorded in Edinburgh. 2 albums with the same title were released, with contributions from Archie Fisher, Barney McKenna, and the Corries. In the United Kingdom, Jules' annual Hootenanny, a special New Year's Eve edition of Later, with Jules Holland featuring a wide selection of musicians, has been broadcast every year since 1993. Other uses: Framus Hootenanny, a 1960s-era 12-string guitar. See also, Hoedown. References. External links: Remembering Hootenanny.